Hi book lovers, it's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen's Reading Room, and this is my City of Bones movie review.
We come into this world unknown, but know that we are not alone. They try and knock us down, but change is coming. It's our time now. Hey, everybody loses it. Everybody wants to throw it up.
So earlier today, I finally went to see City of Bones, and I feel like I'm late, even though it's the same weekend, but everybody else has already seen it. I finally went and saw it today with my daughter, and I loved it. Long and short of it, it was a good movie. I'm just going to go through the movie quick. As far as following the book, there were some differences which I was expecting. But it kind of all fell into place, and it didn't really bother me that much. The only thing that was real obvious was that when Valentine tells Jace that he's actually his son and Clary's daughter, before they have that confrontation, Valentine and Hodge are talking, and Hodge tells him to lie to them and say that they're brother and sister. So kind of telling the audience that they're not really brother and sister, but I don't think it was real obvious. I caught it because it was different from the book, very, very, very different from the book. My daughter, who's sitting next to me though, had not read the books at all. And when they got to the part where they actually said they're brother and sister, and they were Clary and Jace were realizing this, Alice was me, they're really brother and sister? And I told her no. She didn't catch the whole thing with Hodge. It was too quick, I think. I think the whole point of putting it in was for people who had not read the books to not be all, ew, gross, the gross factor, thinking that it's, incest or whatever. And most of the viewers have read the book and know this. But Allison didn't. I did tell her, just because I don't want her to be all, ew, about it too. But she didn't catch it. So that was, I think, one of the bigger differences, and also just where the end went down. It was actually at the Institute. Valentine had hidden Jocelyn in the Institute, so everything kind of went down at the Institute, which was different, but actually it worked really well. I thought it actually was a good idea. It actually made more sense from a movie standpoint because it was just easier to follow. Then as far as the beginning of the movie was almost exactly like the book, how Clary sees him at the club and how her mom gets attacked in her apartment, and then the whole witch who lived below her and the tarot card and her pulling the cup out, all of that was very true to the book. Like I said, I think it was just the end part that kind of took a huge departure. Now I want to talk about the characters a little bit, because as far as I'm concerned, that is my true love of the Mortal Instruments, is the characters. The plot is secondary to me. I think that the original plot for the first 3 books is very, very good and a very strong plot. It kind of fell apart for me after book 3, but I still like the series because I love the characters so much. And maybe it'll all tie up great in the last book. Who knows? But anyway, so I really was interested in the characters for this movie because I love these characters. Alright, Clary. I thought Lily Collins did a good job. She wasn't an outstanding or anything, but Clary is not my favorite character. In fact, I think she's my least favorite character of all the main characters. I like her the least. I don't hate her or anything, but I'm just not a huge fan of her. So I thought Lily Collins did fine. I thought she did a great job portraying Clary myself. So I thought she was way better than Kristen Stewart in Twilight, the first movie, Twilight. Kristen Stewart got better as it went on, but the first movie, Twilight, I thought she kind of sucked. And Lily Collins was way better than that. Jace. And I'm sorry, I do not know all the actors' names. I haven't really looked into it. I just knew Lily Collins because it's, I always think Harry Potter because of Lily. But anyway, so Jace, the guy who played Jace, who was also in Twilight, I really liked him. When they first saw who cast for Jace, he wasn't anything what I pictured, and I didn't think I was going to like him at all. And I thought he did a great job. He had the attitude down. He had the sarcastic wit going. So he was pretty good looking after a while. I got used to him. And he was kick butt. I mean, he was perfect. I thought he was really good as Jace. And after about 5 minutes, I forgot about him being in Twilight at all. I forgot all about him being one of the Volturi. So yeah, he did a good job pulling that off. Simon, who is my favorite character, I thought the kid who played Simon did a great job. He was perfect for Simon. I thought, and that's a complex character. I hope he can keep it going because that is a very complex character. But yeah, I thought Simon was spot on. Alec was okay. I mean, I don't know. It felt to me like there just wasn't many Alec moments in this, I think. They probably had to cut a lot of dialogue and stuff. It felt a lot more like the Jace, Clary, Simon show. And Alec and Isabel weren't really in a lot of it, to be honest. They were there, but they just didn't have a lot of lines. And they were more for the action parts. So we just didn't get a lot of Alec. But for what we got, he was good. I thought he looked like Alec. He acted like Alec. And I really like Alec. So yeah, I thought he did good as far as that. Isabel, I was disappointed a little bit. She was not as sassy as I wanted to see. I mean, it was there, but it was, I don't know. It just didn't feel, I didn't feel it. She could have done so much better with that. I was a little bit disappointed with her performance. Max wasn't even in the movie at all, so I guess maybe they're going to justify that by saying he went with his parents when they were traveling. I don't know. But Max wasn't there at all. Who else do we have? Magnus Bane, who is a really good character. He was a little flat too. As far as he had, I don't know, he had a little bit of that mystery that Magnus has, but he just wasn't as, I don't know, flamboyant, and, you know, he blended in, I thought, too much, really. I don't know, it just wasn't quite what I was expecting for Magnus. But, again, he didn't have a lot of action either in this one. He was at the party for a little bit, and that was like a 5-minute scene, if that. The party was cut way short. So, yeah, the party was kind of a, yeah, that was kind of one of the bummers of the movie. I don't think they did the party up well enough. So, yeah, and then at the very end when he heals Alec, he was better then. But the party, yeah, other than what he was wearing, which was interesting, but not really what I was expecting. I don't know. Then, Luke was good. I thought Luke was perfect, exactly as I imagined him. Jocelyn was also really, really good. You know, she doesn't have a lot, but at the beginning, I thought she was great. Hodge was perfect, spot on, amazing. I really liked Hodge. And Valentine was sufficiently scary. I don't know. He wasn't really what I pictured him, but I was able to go with it. I didn't have any trouble believing that he was Valentine after he got going. He had the evilness part going well. So that part he did well. The vampires, they didn't really... The vampire showdown was one of the better parts of the movie. But the vampires didn't have any lines, so I can't think of the vampire right now off the top of my head. But yeah, you didn't even know who he was. None of that was obvious. So that was kind of disappointing. I think that's it for the main characters. I can't think of anybody else right now. So the characters were fairly good. There was a few that disappointed me, and I was really disappointed in Isabel because she's also really one of my favorite characters, and I am hoping that improves. So, and that could have been director choice. I don't know. Like I said, she and Alec just didn't get a lot of lines or screen time. So yeah, the action was amazing. It was really, really well done and gripping and intense. This whole storyline of how they became Shadowhunters, that was really well done. I think that people who hadn't read the books would be able to understand that pretty well. It wasn't glossed over too much. They actually spent some time in detail. The City of Bones was freaky and was really good. So yeah, and the Institute was well done. How they revealed the glamour around things was cool. The whole New York City scene, and it felt like New York through the whole thing, so the setting was great. The basic look of the movie was good. It was exactly how I pictured that. So, yeah, and overall, I think it was an entertaining movie, from start to finish. I didn't stop and think that much during it. Only a few times, like I said, the party, I was able to kind of get out of my own head for a little while. So yeah, but yeah, overall I thought it was a great movie. I would say better than Twilight by far. Not as good as Hunger Games, obviously. But yeah, a really entertaining movie. So, and I think that people who have not read the books, like my daughter said, she really liked it. She thought it was a good story, and she said it was interesting and entertaining and funny. They did leave a lot of the quotes from the book in the movie, which I was so happy about. A lot of those sharp bits of humor, which I made a post on that, hoping that some of my favorite quotes would make it. I need to go through and look and see, but I'm trying to remember. I recognized a few of them were in there. So yeah, they had, and people were laughing. It had that good wit, so that part was great. They kept a lot of the Cassandra Clare wit in it, which is awesome because that's part of what makes these books fun. So yeah, I think I would have to give the movie 4 out of 5 stars if I was going to rate it. It wasn't the best movie, but it was good, it was entertaining, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, I will probably buy it when it comes to DVD, and I'm excited to see the next movie. So yeah, let me know if you've seen the movie, what you think, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Busted.